Management versus administration management, what does it mean? Describe the functionality of server pools. Then we'll talk about application placement policy, how to create VIPs and manage the resource. When you talk about Oracle Cluster Havability, HA, it's a services to real application database and application which are going to run on it. What it does is, it protects and monitors all your application which are been deployed on cluster periodically. How does it monitor? There are predefined policies. You define a policy for each resource on the cluster. Whatever your failover policy or what is your starting policy, in supposing the process is killed, do you want to restart on the same node? Or you just want to do a relocate the resource, or you don't want to even relocate. It's your policies and the definition, what we called about the program action, that will decide your failover or hireability. Currently, Oracle ClusterBase does not support you failover for Oracle based product as well as it support non-Oracle based application also. So you can write your own shell script, you can write anything else, and then you can register that also as a program. Okay. Let's look at some of the component terms which you use within the from definition of ClusterWare. The first term is resource. Any entity that Oracle ClusterWare manages or HA such as application manages, it's called resource. In this we can talk about ASM, or we can talk about Oracle instance, a listener, all that becomes a resource for the ClusterWare. What is action program? Action program is the code or the script written by the developer or the guy who is going to register that with ClusterWare. It provides the logic for starting. You can say startup script, shutdown script, status checking script. In case there is a killer process, what it is new to do, restart, all that logic is written in this action program. The third one is privilege. You are going to allow only certain type of user to access this application or run this program, or based on the access of the user you want to give the options. Like if we talked about the CRS program, we cannot stop from grid. So it is defined as a privilege that you need to be a root user to stop that. But you can check the status of CRS while using grid command or somebody else. Then suppose there is a resource dependency between the two applications you are going to resolve. So you can describe that, okay, before starting, you need to check and see whether the ASM is running or not. Or before you start instance, you should make sure that database is starting. When you shut down that, when you try to shut down command on database, make sure all the database instances are down. So you define the resource dependency. Then application VIP, a VIP that an application has dependency on. If any of the virtual IPs you are using within your application, that is what talks. Then last but not least, OCR, the maximum of resource profile policy, all that has been stored in OCR, and how you are going to manage, like your automatic backup, show backup, what are the backup location and all that. Okay, so if you look at the how does resource management option from 11G to provide two style of resource management. The one which we are talking about, administrator managed configuration, and this means the DBA or the administration of cluster will define the configuration. He has the freedom to define this configuration based on his knowledge. He can define the policies and manually resource the all the resources. Normally, it uses a subpool of built-in generic pool. All the cluster default nodes are added into general pool service. Okay, their resources are placed by the database administrator, means the DBA is responsible. It is nothing but management strategy which was used in previous release like 10G and other thing. As per Oracle, or if you have seen, it is good when you have small number of nodes. Now the small number of nodes are not just for your RAG database, but it's a number of nodes in a large cluster way. Okay, large cluster. The second thing is, which we call as policy manage. As the name indicates, this is the policies. The policies which you have defined will define the resource management. Okay, so normally in such options you divide the servers. Suppose you have 50 cluster or 20 cluster, then you divide the servers within a clusters of pools so that you can allocate them for different functionality. Control placement of all the services by user. All the services and the placement of that is controlled by the server pool. DBA does not control that. It is the workload management which is defined will decide which server or which node to be used for this process. And it's very good where you have large number of cluster nodes to be managed, so that it based on the work strategy you have defined. That is that. Now again, this work strategy is normally defined by DBA sitting with the business application to understand their requirement and workload, and according to that you allocate the servers from the pool. Any questions? What is server pool? Actually, server pool is nothing but a logical divisions of the nodes for better resource management. A distributed workload over server in the cluster. You can have that. Most of the servers are allocated to either a database or other resources. All this, again, the server pool can be managed by both tools, which we have talked about, SVRCTL and CRCTL. Okay. Mostly you can have, when we talk about server pool, you can create multiple server pools within a cluster net setup. The top level means the top where you start the pools. You are mutually exclusive. You cannot share between the top two pool. But at the lower level, if you want at the child level, you can share the pool across that. There are two default pools which are included with 11G, R2 and all that. One is free and second is generic. Free are used for the nodes which are still not assigned to any pools. Generic is used for administrator managed fixed configuration and pre-released R2 database. So this is the new feature, you can say, which has been available from R2 with that. Okay. Any questions? Some of the attributes, when we talk about server pools, there are some of the attributes which will decide the status and the job of that. The first one is ACL. ACL is nothing, the access control list that defines the privilege for that. It gives you a list of the privileges for that server pool and do it. Second, how many active servers are there within the pool is that the script, the attribute activate servers. Is this an exclusive pool? It governs whether the server can be shared among the pool. If it is exclusive pool, then you cannot share this. Even they are sitting idle, they will be sitting idle. Okay. The importance means tomorrow, if you have a policy managed rule defined, and suppose there are multiple pools which are asking for resources or extra node. Based on the importance, it will allocate. 0 is lowest and 10,000 is highest. So if you have a node with 10,000 and another with 500, the 1,000 will get more importance and the resource will be allocated to the top priority. Max size, number of server pools that can contain, and minimum size means it is the number of minimum size. So if you look at the server pool when it is policy management, you can do that. So default value is minimum for 0 and it can be maximum, so that even though it needs more than resource requirement, but if the max size is 5, in that case you cannot assign more than 5 nodes that or 5 nodes in that pool. Name of the server pool. What is the naming convention to identify unique parent pools when creating nested server? If you are going to create nested server, who is the parent for that? And then the list of the candidate nodes which are there for server names. Okay, nothing but your host name of the nodes. Let's look at the more detail on generic and free now. When you are upgrading clusterware, all the nodes are placed normally into generic pool to assure the compatibility with the older version. Because in older version there was no such thing called free pool. It was always generic pool and it was always administrator managed option. Okay. Generic pool stores pre-1 and administrator managed with the fixed configuration. So pre-pool server attributes are restricted as follows. Server name, min, max cannot be added. You cannot add it because it's system generated. Only thing which you can add for the server pool within this pool is importance and acknowledgement. Okay. Same way, you cannot edit any attributes of generic server pool configuration because it is administrator managed. There is no importance of the pool. You keep on allocating it. Okay. Now let's look at the one simple example of where we can say that how we define the servers. Okay, this is a scenario where we have defined the policies and we have defined different server pools. The first one is that you have a server pool called SP1. Its importance is 1, minimum size of server is 1 and maximum size is 10. SP2 does 3 size, min size 1, max 6. SP3 is 2, 1, 2. The SP2 child 1 of that it is number is 2, min size is 1 and 5. What is the parent? Parent for SP1 child and 2 is SP2. An exclusive pool. It says that S1, 2, 3 are the 1, 2, 3 exclusive pool you have defined on that. Okay. Okay. Yes. Now suppose host 01 join the cluster and will be assigned to SP2 and SP2 of child 1. Why it should go to child 1? Why it does not go to child 2? Any reason? Can anybody?
Because of the importance?
Yeah, you have defined an exclusive pool That's why it will not go ST join the cluster result to SP2 and the SP2 child and server pool, because it is defined as a exclusive for that, and the important for the SP2 is will be higher than that. So that's where the things get assigned to do. So these rules you can define based on your business requirement, uh, batch processing business requirement, workload, and all that. But it's mostly useful when you have large number of nodes and you are running multiple database, cluster database on a large cluster nodes, or you have a very large system. Okay. Now, if you want to check the status and attributes of the server, you can follow the command crschtl status server minus f. It will give you details, name of the node, what are the active pools, what are the states of that. There can be multiple states of that. Online. Online means server is the member of the cluster and is available for your resource placement. Offline means it's not currently a member of customer, so it's not available for resource. Joining means when the server joins a cluster and process is ensured that a valid resource placement is been doing on it. That's one it says join. Okay. Living, when you are planning, living will be available when you are available for shutting down that node, and it's about in the process of shutting down CRS and all that, then only the living process will be available. Visible. This happens normally when you say visible. Suppose you have started the CRS and your cluster where is coming up and checking all the properties and synchronization is happening and all that. At that place the status will be visible. This will be mostly before it becomes online. Okay. Reconfiguration, when due to some attributes the status of it's getting changed, either it's moving from one node to other node, other server pool, or the resource, or many time it is also because it's, and normally it will be only when it is getting relocated from one pool to other pool, or a particular resource on that is being getting relocated. Okay, that's a state. State details, it gives more details like online reconfiguration and joining. When these three states are there, the details are provided in that thing. Okay, let's see if we can fire the command and see what is currently our state of two nodes. I have the state CRS CTL status server minus f. Okay, so it says that three server node it has given me. State online, active pool is generic coordinate, state details. See, when it's online there is no detail, only when it is offline or online, if there is auto start and all that is required, then only that detail is there. Otherwise, when reconfiguration is there, it will give more details, and when it doing the joining. Okay, so in this case we have not used policy management. If you remember, while doing the installation, it asks you the option whether you want administrative manage or policy manage. Okay, how do we create the pools? We can create pool using, yeah, Wilfred, go ahead. Yes.
The one before. No, there you have a generic name as well. That is a generic pool name, or the free
Which one?
name?
No, the free only comes when you are using policy manage. Which one you are talking?
No, when you're in your remote desktop.
Okay. Oh, remote desktop. One. This one?
Can you explain that? Yeah, the two active pools, one the generic and then free or single.
Okay. What is generic is means generic is when you do an administrative manage pool. The default pool which has been created is called generic. In this, if you look at now, you have two nodes, GR8972 and G89203. Both are being used. Actually, you have added the third node, but there is no resource placement on this node. Okay, there is no Oracle service or nothing is running on that. This is free for any other job. If you do here CRS CTL stat res minus t means it's still not doing any work. It has not joined any job which has been assigned to that. Okay. Now you look at this Oracle ASM. This only is started on these two nodes. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
So that node is still available for any job which you can plan it. Okay. If you look at one more, there's a Aura ORCL you will find. Okay. ORCL. It's open and it is online only on the two node. So third node we are not using till now. That's why it is in the free pool. It's not in the generic pool. As soon as you start ASM and other thing, this will become to generic pool of Oracle ORCL. If you start that instant, if you add extra instant to that, in that case, that this will become two. Currently, ORCL is only working on two nodes. Yes. You remember we did a
Yeah.
silent database installation,
Correct.
and we do it only on two
Yeah.
nodes. After
Because-
that, we have added the extra node. Okay.
Okay.
See, this is not this when we talk about server pool and all that. It's a concept where you have large number of clusters running. It is not just single rack database, but in practical scenario, if you look at that, our installations are related to one set of rack database. We don't use multiple rack database on a one single customer in most of the environment. Yes, I don't know. On production, most of the customers avoid running multiple rack database on a single cluster. Is that true? Anybody running multiple rack database on same cluster?
No. Never run it.
Can I get some yes, no? If you're running multiple, then you can say green signal. Oh, Tom is running. Yes. Good. Okay. If you are running and if it is R2, R12 onwards. Okay. We aren't here where I worked, but I agree with this statement. Okay. Okay. Thanks, Jason. Okay. But let me tell you, there is one customer where cannot put a name because I have signed an NDA. Okay, they have something like they have built a cluster of 20. Actually, they are a PC, or you can say above a PC, and they do lot of processing of batch processing and other things, and they have multiple application which runs on this cluster, and we are trying to implement this your what you call policy based rack environment, and trying to define the rules so that based on the load which we are getting, we can keep on adding extra nodes. And you will not be surprised, all these nodes are like high-end PCs, just 2 core CPUs on a desktop assembled server with a high-speed Giga Ethernet card and around just 32 MB RAM on each node. Okay, we are already doing a POC. If that's successful, it will be a great saving from them, because they were planning to go for Exadata machine, and if we are able to produce this even nearby results with this assemble with multi-node concept, roughly there might be a saving of $1 million to $2 million per year. Okay, let's move. We are running little, so okay, no problem. Okay, when we talk about that, we can use CRS-CTL or SVR-CTL. We can create server pools. We can say CRS-CTL add server pool SP1. What are my attributes? My minimum size is 2 mins. It cannot remove. It has to have 2 server nodes in my max size is 5. I cannot have more than 5, and importance equal to 3, the level of importance. Same thing you can fire using the SP1. You have the option called -L is the limit, U is the max size, what is the importance level -I, and you specify the names of server which you want to get it. Okay, specifying, you can also use the attributes and define that into a text file, and you can say my file is equal to SP1 attribute text file, and you can define all the variables on that text file. It will automatically read. Same way, you can also remove the delete, or you can remove the pool and that. But only thing, you have to make sure that before you delete, there is no job or nothing running actively on that using that pool, and you can remove that pool. There are options. You can modify all the server pool properties whenever you require, and this property will be affected from the next resource allocation. The existing resource allocation will be same. Suppose there is also one thing you need to understand. Suppose I have set minimum size equal to previously 4, and now I am making 2. Suppose I already have 4 node allocated. It will continue to have 4. Whenever the 2 other server becomes ideal, it will bring down to 2. Okay, but yes, immediately it does not work. It will do all the process, and then whenever they are become free, then only it slowly start releasing the nodes. Okay, this is again can do the same thing using Enterprise Manager solution, very easily defined. You can define the resource, add server pool, contain. You can specify whether it is for database services or non-Oracle resource. You can specify maximum size, or you can say entire cluster. In that case, or whatever nodes you keep on adding, the size becomes 2. And if you want to define the importance and what is the parent pools. Okay, once you define the parent pool, you will see that it comes under the SP2. Yes.
Can we combine, while we're creating the server pool, can we create for both the Oracle resource and non-Oracle resource? Can we combine and use for a particular resource?
No, I don't think so. As per my knowledge, it was exclusively, because if I look at I have not tried it, but we can try it now. But as per my knowledge, it has to be separate because it's a radio button, and I have not seen an option here for both together. Okay.
So if you
If
want
you
to
look
install,
at it,
so if you want to install a WebLogic server on a particular server for the
you have to use non-Oracle resources. We have exercise for Apache, and I think that is non-Oracle Apache. 1 minute, let me check. Okay, I think it's a non-Apache thing. It was defined as a non-Apache. It should be defined as a there. Okay.
Oh, I cannot use any third-party binaries on this.
No, you can use it. No issues. Apache is a third party.
But it has to be as a non-Oracle resource.
No, non-Oracle means when you talk about non-Oracle resource means it's where you don't have the predefined definition for it. Like for Oracle instance or a database, you don't have to define any action item, or a cluster understands it, how to start, how to stop, and all that. Okay. See, when you talk about Oracle service, means any Oracle service like listener, database, instant, ASM, all that are part of Oracle resources, because Oracle knows how to handle it. Yes. Okay. When I talk about non-Oracle resources means you are going to define your the way it's going to start, stop, and all that. Oracle does not have control on that. You have control on that. Okay.
Okay.
Tomorrow Oracle acquires WebLogic service and it knows how to start and stop. It may come as a part of Oracle resource, not as non-Oracle resource. When you talk about non-Oracle resource, you have to define all the things. Okay.
So in that case, if I use non-Oracle resource with non-Oracle product, then I could go and write my custom cluster script. Is it?
Yes. Yeah. In this, we are going to write for Apache. In this, there is a script given. You are not going to write, but you are going to. In this, you will have a script. 1 minute, I will show the script. Okay, it is under lesson 5 Apache TPL. Okay, just let me show Apache lesson 5. Sorry, it's not taking. Okay, if you go Home Oracle Labs. Okay, if you have something called Apache TPL, this is nothing but your script which you are going to write it and say, in the case I select start, what should it run? Okay, it should start that. If I say stop, okay, what should it do? If I say delete, check, what should it go and check? Whether it's a clean or not. All that message you are going to write when you talk about non-Oracle. Okay, when you register any of the what happens is you don't need to write this for start, stop for Oracle database, because Oracle knows everything what it has to do for such thing. You got it?
Yeah, this can be used inside CRS-CTL.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Thanks.
Yeah, we are going to have that exercise, total exercise. Plus, like now it is a monitor.sh. If you see the script, this you are going to say every second you have to go and check it, the thing. Sorry. Right. My break. I need a. Okay. So what I have run and Mona, keep on PS minus grep and keep on checking whether my process is up or not Apache. If it goes down, it will tell you. So if you see, you will find grep monitor.sh from start. Okay, you will write it that. Okay, so this is way you have to write, but for starting a database or starting a listener and all that, you don't need to write a script. Oracle knows all the logic, and that logic is built in within your rack software. Okay, is that fine?
Okay, thanks, Piyush.
Okay, no problem. Sorry, where are we? Okay. So what is cluster? This is what we were talking. Now, when application is register, you define how cluster manages is defined by attributes. The first one, registration, includes action script. Action script is nothing but a program or shell script or general script which provides the instruction to Oracle clusterware calls. The normal steps are start, stop, check, and clean up the application. Or cleanup is nothing but restart of application. Okay. Either this supports use. Yeah, tell me.
I'm sorry. So this is how now when you were saying, I think yesterday, Oracle supports third-party vendor.
Yeah.
This is how.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's where the Apache is a third party. I will register. I can still monitor Apache server using my clusterware of Oracle. See, please understand the clusterware was a software which was provided by third party vendors and it was product diagnosis.
నేను ఈ కార్ కొందామని చూసాను
you would be able
ఓకేనా
to run SQL Server database,
కొత్త కార్ వచ్చి 70,000
and all other databases.
శాలరీ వచ్చి 40,000
And you could have managed all the database. But
అలా కార్
slowly Oracle built the initial clusterware used to support Oracle. But since it is trying to become a product diagnosis and that, so they are slowly building all the flexibility in Oracle clusterware where it can support not just Oracle product also, but also non-Oracle products. Okay.
Yeah, one more question here. So, this Oracle clusterware after the acquisition of Sun, it is a part of a Sun cluster or?
See, it is not actually a replica of Sun cluster total, because Sun clusterware I have seen it in old days. It has lot more features than what you have currently clusterware has it. But slowly some of the features on part of that Sun clusterware is being included into Oracle clusterware. It's not the exact replica of Sun clusterware. Okay.
So if you use Sun cluster with RAG, you have a more feature than Oracle clusterware with RAG. Right now.
One way, yes. But the integration, see, slowly Oracle is more providing the bug release and more on that. Slowly on the Oracle clusterware much. See, my experience is over 18 years. When you have a product from same two vendors, I would prefer to use that because the integration is much easy, as well as my support headache or certifications and all that are much easy. Now you can say yes, Sun is part of that, but it is using. But if you see the history back, I still remember 8 years back, the first patch worldwide will be released on Sun OS. Okay. Slowly they moved out of Sun and then the HP got the preference. So most of the patches were first patch released on HP. Then Oracle interacted with Dell, and then the Linux came in picture. And slowly, if you see the Exadata itself, the first release was on HP and all that, Exadata. Now they are not, its HP is in some way low on the support side. IBM, nowhere. There is a serious problem using GPS file system with the latest versions. So it is always, my gut feel says that it makes sense using the product from the same vendor if they meet your requirement, so that integration issues or the support issues are reduced. Okay.
Okay.
If you already have no issues, you can still use. You can check the certified metrics and then go ahead. But if you are going to buy something new, I would prefer from same vendor on the same stack. Avoid multiple vendors. People say no, integration is not a problem, but integration is always a challenge. Yes.
Okay.
I think somebody wanted to chat. Okay.
But I can always use Sun cluster with ASM and RAC, right? If you want.
Yeah, you can use it. No issues. You can use any cluster where even HP, IBM, Veritas is supported a particular version. Okay.
Okay. All right. So in that case, you always recommend to go for Sun Solar with the Sun cluster and the ASM.
Yeah.
All right.
It's okay.
Thanks, Krish.
No problem. There are two application scripts provided by Oracle directly for UAgent. It's a script agent under CRS Home bin and app agent, application agent, so that you can use whether that is there. Okay. What is the cluster resource type? To organize the resource employing the similar attributes. That's the basic reason. You need to only manage necessary resource attributes. Okay, sorry, go ahead. Very raise hand or what is happening? I'm getting a beep sound.
I think Anu joined the meeting.
Oh, okay. I think Murli left. Okay, no problem. Okay. Then what is very important here, that all register with the Oracle cluster must assign a resource type. Otherwise, you will not be able to map. And within the resource type, there are two types of resource. One is local resource and one is cluster resource. Why local resource means the resource is very specific to that particular node, and you don't want to use or do any definition across the cluster web. So if you remember, there were two OCR files. One was OCR file and one was OLR file. That was local resources. If you are defined as a local resource, they will appear on OLR file also. Okay. Now if you look at the screen, Enterprise Manager, have you anybody tried to click your Enterprise Manager? Let me try Oracle. I think one node is running for INV. RCM. Okay, now if you look at, this is a major problem. If you don't set to ORCL1, the script does not work. See? Actually, I have to set to ORCL1. If I say ORCL1, it asks me for Oracle because everything is hard coded on the script. Okay.
Hmm?
So thing one. Okay. So let's see if our emctl start db console. Okay, just you have to add the exception and export the certificate. Okay, get the certificate. Come. Okay. I think it's sys Oracle for you.
Good.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. Let me make bigger. Okay. You have cluster, a database. We all are experienced guy. I don't need to do how to operate this, but
All experience and
okay. Your administration. Okay. Manage, add server pool, add resource type. Okay. This is root. Root only or create? Okay. You can specify the resource cluster or your local resource. Okay. Then the description. If you want to start automatically, okay. Then you have balance. This resource can be balanced to be placed in anywhere in the customer. Favor the placement if you want to go and specify the policy. Favor the on some server pool or other server. Restrict to some power pool. In this case, you will get different. See which one you want to restrict. If you see the default, you will get only in this case one list. generic okay, you get 2 put on 0, enter current size 0, then this. So this will decide your policy, how much coordinates you want, degree of placement. We'll talk about all this. 1 minute, let's move. Okay, so this is where you can say anywhere in the cluster where resource can be started. In this case, whatever new action is available you can do, and then you can use the here you are going to specify the agent script in case if you are not using the standard services. Okay, see, use the scripts. Okay, you can specify agent file,